spaghetti models and empty rum bottles, and sometimes Louis says hi. Hey, Louis. But you don't get no hurries and don't have no worries, cause we're drunk donkey nationwide. Everybody now. Flies where the page. You know he'll be tracking every move that makes. You know it's flies where the page. You know he won't let us all get blown away. Did I ever tell you the story of the drunk donkey? Once upon a time, there was this weather woman. You can come as a pilot, stay kind of quiet, but you know you love watching mice face. So put your grown head shirt on, watch it live on your phone, and drink drunk donkey beer all day. Here we go, Daddy. Mice grab the page. You know he'll be tracking every move that makes. You know it's mice grab the page. You know he won't let us all get blown away. Is that Blobby Bobby? I think that's Juicy Jerry. Yeah, Mike, throw a party, man.
All right. Boom. What's up? Remember the Budweiser commercial? What's up? The greatest marketing of all time, in my opinion. Bud. Arr. It was some crazy times. Give me a light. Bud Light. Cool. Well, hey, good morning. What's up? I got my Wawa shirt on. Yes, so I have a 24-hour policy on shirts, okay? I did my little reel yesterday, and I had it on, but I didn't have it on in the morning show. So technically, it's only a 12-hour old shirt. But I walked this morning, and I am going to shower. So don't say, you wore that shirt last night. Technically, it's only got 12 hours on it. And I didn't sleep in it. So anyway, we're going to talk tropics. Holy cow, there's nothing to stress about at all. The only people that should be really keeping an eye on this Invest 91 is the Caribbean right now. So, and it's slowed down. Now it's looking like towards the latter part of next week. So I'm going to go over all the latest. Okay? That's what I do. What we've always done. And some people don't like it. And they have to share it to the world. But that's our First Amendment right. I got to remember that. So, hey, let's say hi for a few minutes. Where are y'all coming from? We're over there. Ashley, there's no name for him. Gabrielle's the next name. Megan's from Central Florida. We got YouTube. What's up, Karen? We got Richard. Ian from Jamaica. What's up, Moats? Tracy, Teresa, how's it going? Palmetto, Mr. Daniel. William, yep, storm's extremely tricky. I've never seen the Euro and GFS so opposite ever. So definitely someone's going to be wrong and someone's going to be right. Who's it going to be? Everybody says, what do you think? Well, I'll tell you a little bit, but definitely no smarter than everybody else. We're all in the guessing stage right now. But NAC's at 90%, so that's pretty high. Dan's going on a cruise. You're good, hopefully. Don't worry about cruises. They're the best. They'll just reschedule or reroute you. We were on a cruise one time. I had a rough day. We were supposed to do like Coco Cay Friday and the Sea Day Monday, and they swapped it. They went Coco Cay early and had a Sea Day somewhere else. So, you know. Yeah, Robin, I know. I just posted that. The Google AI did really good. I'm going to show you that. Thank you, Mr. Bill. How about the Rays, man? 10 in a row. Crazy. It was pretty good. Morning, Tom. New name. How's it going? Tom over on MWP chat. Stephanie Stearns. Oh, anybody else from anybody new? Who's new to the page? Let's say hello. Wake up, Louie. Angela, storms are coming. How'd you like that song? My buddy Andy Simmons wrote me like 10 songs. What's up, Cal from Amelia Island? The waves are always intense. Yes. Vero Beach, Ashley. Yeah, how's anyway, Kimberly, what's up? So we got people from all over the world. So, yeah, gonna be good. Might go in the water tomorrow a little bit. We got the Bucks game on Sunday. We've got 7 more days of watching Invest 91 before it even reaches the Caribbean. We got some sneaky areas that might pop up over in the Gulf we're going to talk about. We definitely got a lot of juice coming in on the back of 91 that probably might be talked about. Maybe more. Thank you, Miss Laura. We do have an app. Yep, we do. Cool, Miss Pam Humper. So this is Louie, by the way. We've been talking to Louie for 7 years. He was stubborn today. He wouldn't come over, but he heard the song, and then he walked over. He's like, okay, Dad. He's the OG. So there you go. I'm going to put you down, all right, buddy, because we're going to talk weather. Ryan, could they lower the chances on 91? I thought they might have, honestly. I'm surprised it's still at 90, to tell you the truth, with the Euro and being so enthusiastic about it. So, thank you, Marie. Trust my page. Cute pup. That was Louie. Doug, well, DR definitely needs to be watching. Timing there, though, would be more maybe following weekend. It's really slowing down quite a bit. Got Angela from DeLand. What's up? Anybody go to Halloween Horror Night? I cannot believe it. Uh-oh. Longo's in the... Oh, boy. You might hear Longo. He's got the bark of a Rottweiler, and he's 7 pounds. He looks like a little Rottweiler. So... Thank you, KJ. Going tomorrow? Heck yeah. I only want to go there when it's cooler weather. I just can't stand sweating in Halloween. It doesn't feel like Halloween when you're sweating. Michaela, how do you say that? Michaela, is that right? We knew a Michaela. That's right. From Puerto Rico. Longo, we alternate dogs, Laura, every other day. A lot of people cruising. It's all good. Toby from London. Wow. So here's what I do. I love to chit-chat everybody, but I do want to go right into the water. I did hear the thunder last night. We were talking about that on our MWP chat this morning before we went live, and it was pretty good little rain here in Clearwater. Thank you, Gary. Yeah, the can came out really good. Yeah, so everybody's asking about Puerto Rico. You just need to watch it. Got to watch it. I'm definitely not taking the skeleton out yet. Criteria retiring names. You know, it's just they vote on it. Red Man. It's usually it might be casualties, cost of damages. I don't think there's a clear reason other than just the level of destruction and casualties, injuries. And I know that they vote on it every season before the, in the off season, the world, what do they call it, WMO, something like that. Hey, you're gonna hear Longo barking. Anyway, all right, let's talk about a couple things. So, ABC Fine Wine and Spirits are one of our great supporters here at Mike's Weather Page. We have 2 meet and greets coming up. We got Tuesday the 16th at Apollo Beach. Tuesday, 16th, Apollo Beach, 5 to 7. You're going to be able to get signed. Can't buy them. We're not giving them away, but we'll be there signing Spaghetti Model IPA. And then on Thursday, over in Cocoa Beach, 5 to 7 p.m. So if you're a fan of the page, you want to meet the dogs, we're going to bring the dogs. Yes, Julie's coming along and Sarah. Maybe Emily over in Cocoa Beach. So Love to see ya. For sure. Here's rain, lingering front. We got a little low out here spinning. I wasn't going to say nothing, but we're going to show it to you now. But there's actually a weak low out here in the Gulf. And there's a lot of wind shear out there with this frontal line, but it's spinning in these storms. This is deja vu. This looks like yesterday's radar. Is it yesterday's radar? I'm refreshing. It almost looks like the same radar as yesterday. No, it's the current radar. So it's spinning in some storms for South Florida today. Crazy from that frontal line. Here's rainfall the next 3 days. No, it's 5 days. This is through Wednesday. I thought I had a 3-day map up, but oh well. This gives you an idea. South Texas rains. Lorena. We're talking about that. I don't think we're going to get those big bad rains that we thought might get out west, but pretty heavy rain across Florida. That lingering front. This is rainfall. Tricky though. I should have done 3-day, but we're not here to talk about that. We're talking about tropics. All right. I did. One of our Brew crew members asked about the drought. This comes out on Thursday, and we still have some southeast Florida drought. I can't believe it. Cool there, K311. The can is awesome. You can get them at ABC. Thank you, KJ. Family up in New Hampshire. So anyway, if you're curious, the drought continues here in Florida. I'm trying to, man, I am not an Apple guy. Oh, I lost everything now. Here we go. All right, we're back. All right, what else we got? All right, there's that. There's a water vapor map. Let's talk about this. So we do have a mid-level low spinning out here in the middle Atlantic. That's what that is. Nobody's really asked me, but that's what that is. It's spinning. You can see it right there. Kind of near Bermuda. There's Bermuda a little bit to the northwest of that. So nothing tropical, nothing's marked by the NHC. These mid-level lows take time to build a surface low below them. And they're common this time of year. Sometimes they bring in some wind shear and whatnot, but they're common. But that's just a sign that Bermuda High is very weak right now. Our system that we're watching is somewhere in this mess down here. Actually, right here somewhere. Kind of weird. Yes, I think it's actually went south a little bit. We had yesterday, and this is that one that I think might be juice. It's going to be heading this way, maybe down the road. But this is where our system's at that we're watching somewhere here. Now, this is the tricky stuff we're going to talk about later. But see this dry air? There's no dry air behind it. And there's a couple waves coming that we might be watching after Invest 91. So once this dry air escapes, it looks like there's going to be a lot of moisture. Timing perfectly with that MJO cycle coming middle month. So I still think we're going to be watching the Atlantic beyond 91. Okay, and now I'm going to show you this little low right here, which is kind of interesting. But right now we're going to focus all on that. Here's the winds. A couple of people said there was different people saying different things online, but you can pretty much see where it's at. Looking at this is the intertropics convergence zone line, and it's natural. Winds come in from the top, from the bottom. It only happens when these waves slow down too, because when you have a lot of winds coming across, we don't have the time to develop any sort of circulation because you just have a strong flow of winds, and that's why they say weaker west on these systems, because they flow all the way into Central America sometimes, and then they end up in the Pacific, and they actually be better chances to form in the Pacific. But these winds are now light, and Invest 91 is only going 5 miles an hour, so it's going to have plenty of time to try to consolidate and build some sort of a center. So that's where it's at. Makes sense. There is some dry air around it to the north, but it's kind of got a nice little moisture bubble. And it's small, but the broad circulation's wide. So the Euro has completely 100% backed off on development on the operational runs, several runs now. So tricky. I've never seen the Euro and GFS so opposite. So that's where that's at. Let me show you this little low here real quick by Florida. Nothing obviously to stress about, but it is got a little bit of flow to it. You can see that, right? Pretty neat, isn't it? And you can almost see it with, let's go to Weather Nerds real quick. You can almost see it on visible satellite. And this is what's going to be spinning. Now, there's a lot of wind shear in the Gulf, and that's why we're seeing all this stuff fly off to the east. But if we go to visible and loop it, you can almost see it. Look. See it? I'll just leave it there for a second and sip on some more coffee. Second day of walking. Felt pretty good today. Mr. Diaz, what's up, buddy? How's that? You getting juice down a set? Look at all that lightning. These little yellow dots are lightning. Tampa Bay lightning. There's some dust out there, Ryan, and dry air, yes, to the north. So, Libby, thank you. But anyway, there's this weak little surface low out here, and we're going to see some storms popping. The wind shear is very strong. You can see this on the cloud tops. But it's going to be tricky, South Florida, I'm telling you. So this stuff's going to make its way in. Really neat to see that develop. And you can always look at your jet stream, too, if you really want to see that upper level wind flow coming in hard with this front line. So your upper level winds, everything here is just kind of being pushed off, obviously. A lot of wind shear. Not a lot in the Atlantic, however, where our system's at. All right, so there's that. Enough of that. Here we go. Two things we'll talk about real quick, then we'll get it right into 91. Hawaii, we have Kiko. Its latest track's a little bit to the north of the main big island there. It could be a hurricane as it nears. So, yes, it's, major hurricane. Crazy. Hawaii very rarely gets hurricanes. So they're watching for that early week, next week, Monday, Tuesday. Some of the spaghetti models here on Tropical Tidbits are actually supporting that just barely to the north, but still way too close, man. I mean, and you still get impacts regardless. So that's going to be interesting to watch for Hawaii. Maybe all the islands are going to get something too. And obviously the mountains and flooding are a big concern. And of course, the higher up you go, the winds are stronger. So the winds are even magnified even more. So, elevation magnifies the winds. And timing of the winds, Monday morning, you might start feeling them there in the Big Island. So there you go, Monday morning. That's that. This was interesting to me. So I was kind of dogging the Google AI the other night because the ensembles have not been good, but the main operational run has been good. But I was dogging it because I'm like, it's 180 degrees opposite than the NAC. This was Lorena. KJ wants to know, I think there's a chance we're still going to see some impacts. Caribbean and Gulf are just too historical, and the conditions are very favorable for development. So, not right now currently, but definitely when we need to worry about late September, October. Nobody should be worried about anything. I see that word all the time, worried. Nobody should be worried. It's hot. It's hurricane season. Okay? You be aware, right? But zero worry. I am not worried for anybody. Even the Caribbean, I'm not worried. Because there's hope that this thing might not be anything. But anyway, back to Google AI. Now listen, I put a post out there 2 days ago, and I said this is going to be a big challenge for the Google AI because Lorena, it had going west and weakening where the NHC official cone was a tropical storm almost up into Arizona. And the last track last night on the top. So the track on the top was the last NHC track. And it's almost the same as the Google track 2 days ago. But when the Google track made the 903 mark, NHC at the exact same timestamp was the other way. So, man, that's... And what Milton was when the Google AI got into the news because it did very well with the track. And it did pretty good with Aaron, too. A lot of news articles were writing about Aaron. So this was a big test because I haven't seen models 180 like we're seeing more and more GFS and Euro. Like, oh my God. I'm going to show you the last 24 hours of the Euro. It's nuts. So is the GFS. You can pick and choose whatever run you want, and that just shows you there's no consistency whatsoever. That's why we look at the ensembles, we look at the weather. So one of my reflections walking today, weaker west systems. We haven't had one in a long time, but they get delayed. The longer they take to get developed, they ride along that intertropics convergence zone, then they miss that lift and they kind of get into that Caribbean a little bit. So, longer it takes to develop, weaker west they go. And then they might have a window to develop. And that, sometimes is bad. Sometimes. So, there you go. Here's our spot, 90% chance. The cone of development has actually trended more west over the last 24 hours. It has now slowed to 5 to 10 miles an hour. That's extremely slow. That's going to give it time to develop, in my opinion. That means there's not a lot of shear pushing, leaving those upper level winds halfway favorable. And, give it time possibly for maybe these fronts to not be a player like they were showing up a couple days ago. So going west, timing would put it near the islands, middle to the end of next week. So we're going to be watching this forever and ever and ever. And we might have something behind it to watch. We might have something in the Gulf to watch while we're still watching this. So that's just part of it. Disclaimer. I haven't said it today or in a while. I'm not a meteorologist. If you're new, welcome. 99% of the meteorologists and I are good friends. So, but not official information. And if this is exhausting, which it is for many people, then you don't, not a good page to follow. I don't care. Adam doing good. Next name is Gabrielle. But yeah, seriously, I made a mistake and read another post today and had some interesting comments, but that's just the page. This page dives into all possibilities from day one. Got almost 2.4 million followers on Facebook alone now. Okay, so some people like what we do. You don't have to go bashing it. But if it is exhausting, check in with the National Hurricane Center every 6 hours and turn off the weather page. Weather page is. Brittany, so it may affect Florida. Well, what do you mean it? We just went through this. There's nobody. There's a lot of posts out there. But everybody should be watching. Here's a good one for you. Hurricane season. Everybody should be watching. The ones you worry about are the ones that pop up out of nowhere. The 3-dayers. Let me tell you something. There's been 10 hurricanes that have hit the continental U.S. that were 150 miles an hour or greater. 10 of those. Guess what? 9 of those were tropical storms 2 or 3 days before. That's how fast things can happen in the tropics. So these long ones are exhausting because it's just 24/7 for so long. But that's where we're at. And they say 90%. So, all right, what else I got lifted up here? Here's some closer look. We got that dry air to the north. So there's a moisture feed from the bottom. There's some moisture feed on the top. So I think there's plenty of moisture around for this to work with. It's just taking time to consolidate that low pressure. Here's the convection. You can see there's not a lot of wind shear. So, this is what happens. They start wrapping up, the moisture. All this moisture behind catches up to it. Low pressure starting to develop. All this moisture that's surrounded this little low pressure starts being attracted to this. And it takes a slow-moving wave across the Atlantic to have time to do this. And that's what it has right now. So the Euros is opposite. Now, drum roll. These are your latest tropicaltidbits.com spaghetti models. Notice the 6Z, the 12Z comes out around 9. We always hit the refresh. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, boop. Kind of what I thought. There's a little less models, meaning might fizzle. A little more on the fizzle camp. But look at that little bend to the north. Kind of right back where it all began. So these only go out. These are only going out 6 days. A couple of them go out 7 days. But there you go, latest spaghetti models. Long way to go. We're going to look at all the ensembles here in a second. But yeah, man, NHC is definitely more favoring the system than some of these models are. Let's look at the intensity models now. The intensity models are sometimes good, sometimes bad. Let's take a refresh on these, okay? Now, according to what we just saw, we're going to should see a less cluster of these and maybe some more going down. So we'll see the latest 12Z. There you go. A little longer to develop, and some of these aren't getting too strong. So, we still have a couple obviously going up in the hurricane status, but trends are your friends. That's what that's what you look at. Stronger system likely curves off more quicker to the north. A weaker system takes a lot longer to develop and goes west. So models have definitely slowed down their development ideas, and some of them are just not even hardly doing anything. Here's the bottom line. GFS, yes. Euro, no. CMC, yes. Euro AI, no. Okay. Icon, yes. UK, no. So it's like 50-50 across operational models on if this thing develops or not. So there you go. What else we got? I posted this morning. Obviously now this is old data, but this is basically just showing you vorticity maps here. How the Euros got Zippo on 9/11 next week, and the GFS and CMC did. So basically what I just said, that's what that graphic was about. Here's your latest ensembles, and then we'll dive into much more ensembles here in a second. So these are going out 10 days. I didn't want to go more than that because we're starting to see signs of another wave behind it, and then it makes it confusing because these lines are specifically on Invest 91. If you go out 15 days, some of the second wave starts mingling, and it gets hard to know which system's what. But this is basically what we just talked about. A lot less members. A couple days ago, a lot of the Euro ensembles were showing development. A lot of the GFS were showing development. Now they've backed off a lot. There's still some, but when we talk about trends, there's less showing development of 91 than they're showing of it. Doesn't mean it can't happen. NHC kind of going with history, history. We get, peak season. Next week, we got MJO. We got a lot of other things. So kind of a model versus gut, and the NHC still believes that this thing is going to have a chance to develop. But moving 5 to 10 miles an hour. So, point of these ensembles, it shows trends and consistency and builds a case of what the majority are thinking. And there's two camps. Way weak west, maybe fizzles out. Gets stronger, pulls to the north a little bit, maybe even missing the islands and turns like we talked about days ago. So that's kind of it. Now we're starting to see signs of another wave, which makes sense, and we're seeing the Gulf still with that juice probably that's ahead of 91 mingling and maybe be in trouble to watch middle months. So we'll get into all that. So let's look at operational runs, just to kind of show you how things have been. I know everybody wants answers, as do I, but nobody knows the answer. You could guess, but there's too many variables on the plate right now. The fact that it's slowing down means it might miss that front, meaning a little bit more to watch as it goes, west. But here's your latest GFS 6Z. Develops our system. Timing would put it near the islands. This is a 994. Possible hurricane, 988. This would be next Thursday. And it kind of does what it's been doing all along. This pulls up, turns, Aaron 2.0. That's the GFS. Notice it's starting to show some low pressures in the Gulf here around the 15th, 16th. Nothing's really developed yet. There's a couple little spots. We got a new wave that's maybe following this one. And that's that. Look at last night, 00Z on the GFS. Timing near the Caribbean. Remember I told you yesterday that you could absolutely change emotions every 6 hours, every time one of these runs come out. I'm going to show you the Euro, because the Euro last night, or 2 nights ago, was showing almost South Florida, then it didn't, then it did, then it didn't. So, watching these can just absolutely it's fun. I love watching models. I look forward to 12 o'clock. I'm like, hey, the new models are running, I'm sure a lot of y'all do too. The Euro runs a couple hours later. But here's next week, next Thursday. This is the overnight GFS. So, we got people in Puerto Rico watching. This would be next Saturday, next Sunday. It could be close. Goes to the south of you, you definitely got more impacts. If it goes to the north of you, that's a week from tomorrow. Hispaniola, this would be the following Monday, not this Monday, but the 15th. And, makes sense. A lot of land interaction. That would deter development, but then it kind of hooks up into Florida a little bit and does that. So, yeah. Euro was kind of doing that yesterday as a weaker system, but makes sense, Here's the thing. If it stays weak in west, it misses this exit that we've talked about a few days ago, and it keeps on going a little bit farther to the west. Weaker west misses that gap. These two connect the dots. The next thing you know, we have a big high that drives it more west. So that's kind of always been the theme. So that's the last two GFS. The 18Z last night. Here's timing. Pretty good little hurricane there, 971. This is next Thursday. Obviously, next Friday, Saturday, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands watching, obviously. That's hurricane. And it turns it north, kind of takes it right to Bermuda there the following Friday. So that's that. And we'll do one more run. We'll do yesterday's 12Z run. Yesterday's 12Z run showed timing Thursday. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico next Friday, Saturday. There's a little low popping up there. And that's been the theme, And that's the one that gets shared a lot because it is, it is scary. Heck, I could post this right now and get a bazillion likes. I probably did back in the day, and I think that's why people don't like me. I didn't know what I was doing back then. I was just sharing models. I didn't know the emotional side of hurricane tracking as much as I do now. But that's the GFS, That's a lot of folks in Carolina told me they were getting that shared. So anyway, just obviously it's one run. But it's very consistent. It's very what's the word I want to use? Very I don't know the word. Eye-opening. Because it, gives you the possibilities. But then you go to the almighty Euro, and last night's 12Z run, or 000Z run, nothing. Nada. Like Zippo. Like nothing. Like it does, it's like not even there. It's like, it's nothing. It develops the wave behind it. But as far as 91, nothing. No, I can't even tell where it's at. If you go to vorticity, it's completely nothing. Like it doesn't even exist. Maybe a little wave right here. No, that's not even it. That's the second one. That's next Wednesday. So if Euro is your friend, guess what? All right, then yesterday's 12Z on the Euro. A little bit more low pressure out there. And look at that. A little bit more development. Nothing too strong, but it did at least show that low pressure nearing the islands on Wednesday next week. And when I say at least, I meant it's consistent with the GFS. And then it weakened it. You could say leftovers up into Florida the following Monday, Tuesday. And then here's that second wave in the scene. So there's that one. And then last 2 days ago, 00Z. Look at this one. Hurricane almost in the Caribbean. Midweek next week. This is next Wednesday, Thursday. And it slowed down a little bit, so now it's like Thursday, Friday probably. But look at this. This is just 24 hours ago, the Euro. 949 hurricane in the Bahamas. This run was overnight, basically 24 hours ago. And it almost hits Florida. So, you go from that to the most recent run, nothing. So, that's that. Canadian model, very consistent with the GFS. Possible hurricane, middle of the week to the islands there. A little bit of lift, Virgin Islands watching into Friday, Saturday of the following week. Puerto Rico. So, Canadians done very well this year, I believe. And there you go. It's back in the GFS. So there's that one. Euro AI is not showing anything. Not really sold on it this year, but just put it out there. Not really doing anything. And that's that. We don't. Let's see what the H4 parent does. I forgot about these models actually. Not doing any development in the short term. Hoff's parent. Not doing anything. It's not doing anything either. So the fact that the NAC is at 90% is incredible when there's so much modeling that's not really showing anything yet to worry about. Now this is obviously within 7 days. These only go out 5 or 6 days. So I did not stick my tongue out, ouchies. There you go. Table. See what's cooking. Oh, so all right. So what do we gather? We gather this. A couple days ago, there was a lot more support of this thing being strong, curving, possibly Air 2.0. There was always a chance that this thing would stay weaker west. You've heard that, and now it appears it's weaker west. It's slowing down, missing that frontal line opportunity possibly to turn, unless it starts to really develop soon. And then it might be trouble down the road. But right now, there's nothing to stress. There's no trouble down the road. There's always going to be trouble down the road in the tropics. All right. I want to look at weather nerds here, and we'll look at their ensembles. And just kind of show you how the trend has been on this. Then we're going to look at deeper down into the Caribbean. And I think there's confusion, too, on what low is actually going to take over. That's the problem. I think there's just so much juice in that Atlantic. It's picking up the front, picking up the back. This is next Monday. I don't know. This is just going to confuse everybody. Now, I don't want to confuse anybody. But I do want to show longer range stuff. So we've been talking a lot about the Caribbean and the Gulf, and the GFS is still definitely showing that idea that something might try to lift. That's the time of the year we start getting something called the Central American Gyre. We got the MJO coming over. We have just things are stacking up that there's going to be favorable environment coming. And the GFS in 10 days. Here we go. Worst case scenario. This would be the 12th of September. Timing wise. But you can see there's a few, Not a lot, but there's probably a little bit more, that's a 6Z. So here's a 00Z. So we're starting to get, signs. We can see, stuff coming up here middle of the month. And, that's very historic. So that's kind of where we're looking down the road. Not a lot of them, but enough to keep mentioning it. This would be two systems. This would be different from possibly Gabrielle, I think, unless Gabrielle never happens and this wave just continues west and then it develops it. So it's confusing, but it happens. And then the European, let's take a look at a blend. I haven't really seen any increase in the blend yet of this. And we really don't have any blend yet either. We got a little bit down here, but no more, no less than yesterday. Because the Euro really isn't showing it as much as the GFS is. Has a few members, but not a lot. So that's just an area to keep your eyeballs on. I think the far wave, like I was showing the water vapor map, it looks like there's a lot of juice out there. Some of the models were definitely picking up the next wave, and if you look at the dry air that we're seeing now, that's going to be eliminated with all this extra coming off of Africa. And if you look at, you know, the big old tropics hazards map that came out, oh, Dusty's in the chat. Oh, hey, Dusty. Shelly just told me. Yeah, hey, Dusty, I'm walking for you, buddy. Hey, you read my thing. Got your text last night, too, man. You know I'm not a texter. But did you get out? That's all I want to know. Dusty, good buddy of mine. Went through a lot, man. We were thinking of you. But anyway, see this area right here? That's the second wave that getting a little bit more support down the road. We can't even get this one right, so let's not waste our time on that one. All we got on our side is history. We got a couple things on our side. We got history. We got hot water. This MJO I talk a lot about. It's going to be in the favorable phase, which, you know, not the most classic pattern, but we're still kind of in a sinking air phase right now. But once it gets into this, it's pretty much all the way to the middle of October. This is sinking air, and this is rising air. So anytime you get sinking air, thunderstorms get squashed like a whack-a-mole. Today, yeah. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that. So there you go. Google AI is not showing much for Richard. Richard, I think it's because it needs an actual system. The Google AI does not pick up on invest areas very well. So we're going to give it a chance to you know, has a low, but it doesn't really have a forecast yet. So it hasn't really ran anything yet. It's there. I don't want to look at the ensembles. I don't think they've done at all good at all. So I'm not even going to look at them. But yeah, there you go. Hey, Harold. Oh, you're welcome. Somebody's from Hawaii. Awesome. I wish I could do more, but Mickey, we're leaning towards La Nina. Here's the latest outlook. And to be honest, that's not good looking environment. In a bad way, it means this hurricane season would be a little more active September, October here because we're going to be into a blue 60% chance of La Nina and 40% chance of neutral. And it's cooling fast. So it does look like we're going to be in La Nina out there. If you look at the anomaly map, and you can see that blue right here. Oh, I can't draw on this map, but anyway, that's Hawaii. All this blue is where they measure La Nina Enzo, and it's appearing that it's switching to La Nina. And what this pretty much does is it eliminates. Oh, now I can do it. Well, it says I can do it, but it doesn't show up. Anyway, it eliminates wind shear in the Caribbean. And that's not good for October. Water temps are way above normal. There's Aaron's track, still a little below normal. Still 80s. Doesn't mean it's cold. It just means it's below what 30-year average is, and that's obvious because Aaron used up all that fuel. This is fuel. That was fuel. That's why Aaron went from a 1 to a 5 overnight. We have more fuel in the Caribbean. A lot more fuel. We're almost at a record right now. We're almost at 2024 numbers as far as ocean heat content. And that's interesting. Here it is. So this graph is back to 13 through 24. So the line on top is 24, and we're getting close to that. That's a lot of hot water, a lot of fuel, a lot of loop currents. I wonder how deep. We haven't really tracked it this year. Let's see how deep the loop current is. It was building one up the other day. It broke off. It did break off. Remember we watched it not too long ago? Interesting right here. Very interesting. So this loop current's going to drift, and we're going to have a new one starting to lift up. This is that's a big pocket of warm water. Some years in the past, we just had a loop current. This year, we actually have a pretty decent loop eddy. And this will eventually drift a little bit this way. That's a lot of fuel here, too. That's a lot right there. That's a deep eddy right there. That's a big one. And this will eventually push back up. Just all the little pieces of the puzzle. Lots of pieces to the puzzle. Who's going to go on our cruise? I saw Kim last night. Shelly, we saw Kim at Varsity Club. Her and Reed, we had another booking yesterday. Well, I told you that when our friends from Dayton or other coast. So we're 2/3 full. We'd love to have you on our 5th annual Weather Page cruise. Come party and learn a lot about weather. All right, Brew Crew, I'm going to be over here for a little bit. Does anybody put up Halloween decorations yet? I sure am not. I might take them out of the attic, one piece at a time. Be like Johnny Cash. I did it one piece at a time. So that's that. We'll do a couple more questions, but that's about a wrap for me. If you're coming looking for answers, no one's got them. I think just, man, I mean, there was talk about wind shear ahead. Let me look at that real quick. But I don't think that's happening. And one thing, the GFS is showing a really tiny system. So sometimes those tiny systems can ramp up pretty quick. Sometimes they can ramp down pretty quick too. So where the hell is my Atlantic? Tropical Atlantic, okay. A little pocket of that. That's not too bad actually. There's favorable wind shear for development. That's your wind shear overall. It's not that bad actually. Anomaly. It's below normal. This is next Thursday. So, you know, this is your anomaly map. Green, this is your mean. Green is below average. Blue is really below average wind shear. So you got light wind shear next week. I think really the dry, dusty air is really the only thing that's got against it. But the long range modeling is suggesting, you know, we're going to have light wind shear. And that's definitely a product of La Nina. We have very little wind shear across that Western Caribbean. That's trouble. Yeah, so that's, you know, interesting that the euro is definitely ingesting. I mean, you can go look at humidity on that probably and see what it's looking at too. Oh, let's see. Yeah, it's 700. Yeah, so there's a lot of dry air. Gets out ahead of it. I mean, the brown's dry air. I mean, that's definitely what the euro just doesn't allow it to develop. Now, yesterday's, the other night's 0-0-Z run had a little more moisture pull from the south. I mean, you can analyze the Y's and whatnot. Upper level wind shear, though, does look supportive of something trying to develop. It's very light wind shear. Very light wind shear into next week. Really not a lot going on out there for wind shear. That's why they call it peak season. Here's your charts historically. Your wind shear average is the lowest now, and we're below that now. So this is where your normal shear is, and you can see it starts to reduce June, July, August, and it's about the lowest around peak season. Makes sense, right? Your lowest wind shear is about now, peak season, but we're actually a little bit below that. Gulf's kind of there. Well, the Gulf's a little higher because of these fronts. These fronts bring in a lot of wind shear. Cool, man. I think that little low's sneaky, man. So why is it trouble? What did I say trouble? I don't know. Trouble would be low wind shear in Western Caribbean. So, Vicky Hill, thank you. Halloween decoration time. Yeah, the night of. Uh-oh, your neighbor has window decorations up already. I mean, I like it. We could dump ice in the Gulf, James. There you go. Throw a bunch of dust out there. Big lightning in Sanibel Island. Yeah, Julian, we got some crazy, look at that crazy juice popping in, man. We got a little low to the top, and it's funneling in some big time action. I mean, to tell you, look at this. Let's zoom in on it. Why did I get a restream email? Am I still streaming? Look at this. This is crazy. This is crazy. Look at this. This is incredible. Look at that convection. White dots are lightning. Isn't that crazy? Look at that. That's all coming for you. We got a bunch of lightning off Lee County there, right? Look at that. Man, you ain't kidding. You said Sanibel, right? Oof. And like I was saying, look at this. Look at this spin. Actually got a little bit of spinach out there. See that? What the heck is going on? Perry. Kelly. Jay, yeah, it's going to definitely bring some rain down in South Florida. So anyway, all right. What do I agree with? That's a great question. God, man, I don't know. I think yeah, just yeah. I just don't agree. I don't think the Euro's. I think the Euro is wrong. We have decent 850 spin, car warranty time. Hey, where's Eric at? Eric been in our chat yet? Eric, you been around? How about the raise, Eric? If you're missing, 500. Not that good. Man, I don't know, man. The UK is a really good Model 2 this year, and it's not showing development either. So I guess if it wasn't for the NAC saying 90, I would have put it maybe like at 60%. 90, pretty aggressive. UK has had a pretty good year, and it's not showing much development at all. 0. KMA, the opposite. KMA showing development, and we've used this a lot over the years. KMA showing development, a little more lowrider. So everything's just 50-50. I mean, it's just frustrating because you get some models saying no. It makes you wonder what they're seeing. Timing of this would be the 10th, 11th. We still got a sinking air pattern though. Not really sure when this kicks in. Longo, come here. Come here. Everyone wants to see you. Come here. It's Friday. Come here. Longo. He's going out there. He'll come back. We'll give Longo a chance. KMA, there you go, Mickey. KMA is pretty aggressive. So, yeah. When half the models say no, the other half are saying yes. There's no confidence right now. I think this MJO pattern is more negative for anything to develop in the next week. Week. I mean, looking at it, it's not terrible, but it's tiny, extremely tiny. Tiny systems are more susceptible to going poof, but there's no wind shear. Come here, Longo. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. He's running now. Come on, come on, come on, come on. He's coming. He's halfway here. He's like Invest 91. He's taking forever. Come on. Come here. He's coming. Y'all get to see Longo. Come here. Look what I got. I want to trick you. Come here. Come here. He's like 2 feet away. Come here. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come here. 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 Oh my goodness. What are you being so stubborn for? Ugh. My dog is so stubborn today. I think he wants to go outside. Now I got rolled up on my damn chair. All right. Well, here's Longo before we go, because it is Friday. We won't be live tomorrow. So everybody want to say hi, Longo? Say hi. Say hi, everybody. What's up, buddy? What are you doing? You good boy? You good boy? Oh, there's a yawn. He does it every time. Now, how many of y'all yawn with him? Are you kissing me? What do you think, little buddy? What do you think, little buddy? Huh? What do you think? He's a cute guy. Say, hey, buddy. Anyway, he's my puppy. He's a good boy. Except when you get in gremlin mode. That's scary. We run. We're like, oh my God, Longo's in his little mode. He's like, oh, he thinks he's a little Rottweiler. But you're not. Well, anyway, the point of today was it's just nobody knows. I'm not gonna guess. I don't have anything to guess on. Until we start to see a big moisture ball forming, I don't really think it's going to do anything. And that's what we're looking at right here. There's really not a lot of moisture for this thing. Now, this moisture catches up to it from the top, maybe. Start feeding it in. We saw that with Aaron. Aaron had moisture from the top, remember? This moisture was able to feed in. So once we start spinning, this moisture could feed it from the top if it rides with it. So this is out racing it. This little thing's staying behind, so there is some moisture. This moisture here might be catching up to it. It'll all start pulling in that. So just remember, yesterday's 00Z Euro had a 940 system right here. And today's had Zippo. So in this little spot here, I think might be the one that we keep watching that might end up to be tricky in a week or so. Alrighty, a lot of confusion, but it's the weekend. Who cares, right? Nobody should be worried. The second weekend past Labor Day here. High Springs. Good morning. What's up, Puerto Rico? Nothing's coming towards Puerto Rico, but you need to watch. If we had anything toward Puerto Rico, it'd be a week from Friday to Saturday of next week. Okay, definitely want to keep your eye on this Invest 91 because there are some models showing development for the Virgin Islands of Puerto Rico, which would be next week. So yes, you need to watch. What's it looking like, Judy? Well, not looking like much. Don's going to Bradenton. He's a meatloaf. I've never heard that one. Any more last second thingies I can try to answer? Helen, Georgia, that sounds fun, Judy Ellis. All right, well, we're going to go over there and talk MWP for a little while. Steve Hall, appreciate that. But so I guess the theme of this one is let's not wrap up on these individual runs right now because, man, I can feel the stress. You know, one run it's hitting South Florida, then it's hitting Carolinas, and then it's not, and so there's just nothing right now to be concerned about it unless you're in the Caribbean. Caribbean needs to watch close. There's nothing even suggesting anything guaranteed for there, but nobody else. I mean, it's hurricane season, so it's just these long track systems bring out a lot of anxiety. They're a whole lot easier when we only have 3 days because they're a little bit more believable. But there is a big clump of dry air to the north of this thing, so I think it's going to take its time to become anything to, unless it's a teeny weeny little storm. But slow moving systems have time to grow a little bigger. Teeny systems don't. So, yeah, that's it. I don't know. Go Bucks, go Rays. Have a great weekend, everybody. We will be live on Monday, and I'll, of course, be doing an evening little reel today, and I'll be doing one tomorrow and Sunday, too. So I'll keep you up to date with the latest. I'll probably do one in the morning tomorrow since we won't be live, so watch for that. I'll do an updated video in the morning tomorrow with all the latest from overnight. Hopefully there's some clarity. It is peak season. Conditions are lining up. It's just now wait until we have something to actually be confident with. Does that make sense? Okay, so have a great weekend. Somebody just said they're worried. No, man. Nobody should be worried. Life goes on. We have to deal with tropics every year. There's nothing out there to be worried about. See ya.